What's up, you beauties? My name's Coach Joey, and today we're going to go over the responsibilities of our center and our two defensemen in the D zone. Before we get rolling with this video, make sure you go back and watch my video on the roles and responsibilities of the wingers in the D zone if you haven't done so already. That way, when you come back and watch this one, you have a complete understanding of not only our setup, but what everyone's supposed to do in our defensive zone. And second, keep in mind that there's a ton of different scenarios that could happen in our defensive zone and throughout hockey. Hockey's a dynamic sport in nature, meaning puck is always moving, players are always moving, filling different lanes, exchanging positions, things like that. So what we're going over is just a basic theory and concept of how we should be operating in our D zone. So if you ever have any questions, make sure you ask your coach or someone knowledgeable about hockey to clarify things in specific situations. So getting rolling here, we're going to say our puck is in the corner. When the offensive team is established positioning in our zone with possession with the puck, we want to make sure D1 is getting to that puck carrier right away. And when D1 travels out, your body is going to be in the passing lane. We don't really need to worry about taking away the shooting lane because this player is most likely not going to score from there and is probably going to be looking to either move the puck up the boards or find some way to make a seam pass into the high slot for a one-timer. So it's important that D1 attacks aggressively, body in the passing lane, and stick on stick. Our center is going to end up supporting our D here, but it's important for the center to make sure that not only are you ready to jump in and help the D regain possession of the puck, but that your head is on a swivel. We want to know where this forward is. We want to know what's going on in the house. We want to see what's going on in the play. And then we might even check back and see what's going on up here on the strong side blue line. Again, our wingers will take care of their D and their roles, but this will end up being our basic structure. Center with support, with D1 aggressive on the puck and D2 in front of the net. Now here, if this puck ends up moving up the boards, our center is going to go right away, no hesitation. Center's going to pressure, body in the shooting lane, stick trying to figure out where they're passing, active stick on stick trying to take away any potential passing lanes. So this will be our basic setup here. Now when we shift as such, we're going to stick to a man-to-man coverage, meaning the player that you're targeting at this given time, if they have the puck and they move it somewhere else, you stay on that player. You have to be positionally disciplined to cover your mark and hold yourself accountable to not chase the puck around. So here we're okay, we're set up defensively. And this will be the same thing if they start cycling. If they start getting a cycle going, D1 or D2 will stay with this guy. Center will stay on his mark, and then D1 will stay on the initial guy with the puck. So one thing that might be confusing sometimes is what happens if they shift the play from the strong side to the weak side. So whether it's a pass, whether they're skating it physically, how do we shift to the weak side? So let's just say this player skates, and it will be the same thing if he passes. Right? We talked about this in my very first video with the D zone setup, so make sure you go back and watch that one as well. But D1 will revert back to the front right away, let D2 know, and then D2 is going to go be aggressive, body in the passing lane, stick on stick. I never really like my 2D getting caught in this area behind the net. Right? They're not going to score there. They're not dangerous there. So we got to make sure we're taking away passing lanes to the front of the net, shooting lanes, and covering guys. So once D1 gets back, D2's getting here. Center's going to come through and support, and then we'll have D1 in front of the net. Okay, again, we can never leave the front of the net empty without a D. The only scenario that may happen is if we're going into man-to-man coverage with the cycle. Right, but it's going to be the same thing on either side. The most important factor is we're positionally disciplined, not chasing the puck. If we go and do a man-to-man coverage, we stay on our target, and then we have to make sure we're communicating at all times in our defensive zone. And just like with our wingers, these fences, we got to make sure our center, our defensemen don't get caught too high in the zone. Right? If our center and defensemen don't trust our wingers to do their job and they come up too high, well, now we have open space down low. We have open players, and we allow time and space for those players to grab the puck and make an effective play to try and score on us. So centers and D, stay low, find your guy, stick with him, and be aggressive on the puck. And again, this is just a basic theory of how we should set up and support in the D zone. There's so many different variables and scenarios that could happen. So make sure you're always talking to your D partner and your centers and your wingers on the bench, asking your coaches questions and to clarify certain scenarios. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next video, and leave a comment. Let me know if you have any questions or what you want to see next. Thanks, guys.